Welcome to part 2 of my Hutton Cardigan test knit vlog. Here you can see me marking off sections of the front so that I can evenly pick up the stitches for the button band. I just fold each section into halves and then quarters and mark them with a removable stitch marker. It's the 5th of September now, and I am just about to finish the big shawl collar and button band, and I just thought I'd show you before I did it. I've done short rows to make the shawl collar, and to help me keep track of how many I had to do and that I make sure I've got them in the right place, I used these bulb stitch markers, and look. There's, well, I can't tell you the exact number, obviously. This pattern will be a paid for one, but there's a lot. And yeah, it's taken me a week to knit this entire button band, but it is now done. It's taken over more than one whole skein of yarn to do it. I had to break into another one, and when I just got into the short rows, so yeah, I've got to reconcile all the short rows, bind it all off, and then I can probably try it on and show you again. I am a little nervous about the short rows. I've ended up on the wrong side of the work when I should have finished on the right side of the work. And it does seem a very steep set of short rows. Anyway, we'll see. Hi, it is Sunday the 19th of September, and first of all I have to explain about my hair. I went to bed with wet hair last night because I couldn't be bothered to dry it, and this is what I got. So, cardigan update. I have finished my second sleeve, which is on this side, and I think we can all agree it looks much better than the original sleeve. What I did for this one was change the increase rate. I swapped the increase rate to every 4 rounds, which got me all the way down to about here, and then I decreased every other round just for sort of 3 or 4 times. And that has given me a much better shape. And I think from having had a look at the Slack group that a lot of people didn't like this sharp decrease and the tight lower sleeve and had reworked it, so I think the pattern has been adapted, which is the glory of test knitting. I've knit this sleeve marginally shorter than I wanted to on purpose, so that when I block it and it grows, it should just hit my wrist perfectly. The other update I have to give you is I made a pocket. Let me see if I can tilt this up a bit. Yes, there we go. One pocket. All you really do is knit 2 parallelograms and then backstitch them together with the right sides together. And then if I nudge you down, there's my pocket opening. So you put this on the inside. I think I've got this the wrong way around. There we go. And I've got to sew the pocket lining in, and then I pick up and do an I-cord bind off for this bit and do a bit of ribbing for the front bit. But because of the marvellously sticky nature of wool, I can sort of pop it in and just, it'll sit there and I can have a look. Now I know I've got to add the trim on the top, but I don't think it's going to end up too bulky like a lot of the other test knitters have found. I was supposed to do this in the contrast colour in the undyed, but I fancied purple because all the rest of the trim is purple, the cuffs and the button band and things. So I'm going to go and do a pocket this morning, and then I'm going to rip out this terrible sleeve and re-knit it. This is turning into a bit of a slog. I've got a sleeve, I've got the pockets to finish, then I've got a belt to knit, and then I've got to block it. There will probably be at least 2 more updates, but I'm getting there, you know, and I'm still, you know, I'm still really liking the cardigan, and I think I'm going to get loads of wear out of it. It kind of feels like a dressing gown. But yeah, I much prefer my sleeve version to the original pattern sleeve version, which, like I said, has now been altered. Much better, and it's still, you know, got lots of ease in it so that I can put other, you know, I could wear this as a coat, I could have other jumpers under here if I wanted to, and it'll grow a little bit when I block it as well. Oh, I'm glad I tried this on. It's perked me up to keep working on it actually, which is fab. Okay, I've got a pot of tea and nobody else is up, so I'm going to go and get some quiet knitting time in.
Leaving all my worries, I prepare for something new. Whatever it was that held me back, I'm sure it wasn't true. Holding on too long and unresolved questions hold you down. What could have been a friendly smile has turned into a frown. I'm moving on and on. On and on. I'm moving on and on. On and on. I'm driving in my car, the road is long and full of dust. The landscape changes around me, on and on, I feel immersed. Whatever happened to me happened for my highest good. I read that in so many books, now it's almost understood. I'm moving on and on. On and on. I'm moving on and on. On and on. See.
It's the Saturday the 25th of September, so nearly a month after I'm supposed to finish this cardigan, and about half an hour ago I wove in the final end. So this is unblocked, right, and it will look better after the blocking, but I have knit the third sleeve. If you remember, I was going to re-knit the first sleeve I did with my new shaping. Okay, so I have tried this on as I've been knitting, but not for a while. And it is really hot today. It's like 20 degrees, even though it's Wales and the end of September. It's complete madness. So the only ends I haven't woven in are the ones for the cuff, the ends of the cuff and the ends of the colour work, because just in case I want to add a smidge more length to them. I tend to get carried away with adding extra length and then I make everything too long. So that's not ideal. So there we have it. There is my finished, I think that's where it needs to be, Hutton cardigan. I haven't knit the belt. It's supposed to have a belt, but I don't think I want a belt. There are my pockets, plenty of space for my hand. Matching sleeves. Definitely, can you see, definitely under bum length. And that's how many ends I had to weave in. My goodness, it was a lot. I normally do them as I go, but I didn't for some reason this time. So as soon as Dave has finished tidying the kitchen, I can pop this in the sink to soak and lay it out to dry. And hopefully all the fabric will have smoothed out and like where I picked up the stitches will have settled down a bit. And yeah, I'll have woven in these final ends. But I am pretty happy. I mean, that was a lot of knitting. Very nearly almost finished.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Here are my finished object photos of my Hutton cardigan. There was no great difference to the fabric or the garment overall after blocking. It certainly smoothed out the stitches beautifully. I will say that the pocket openings, the little ribbed sections, still looked really quite bulky and poofy. The fabric didn't flatten over there. But because I chose not to knit a belt, I really don't think it matters, or I'll be wearing it open. This definitely feels more like a coat or a dressing gown rather than a cardigan, but I'm sure I'll get a great deal of wear out of it. And it is worth noting that although I was between sizes when I first started making it, and I have put on a few pounds, shall we say, since I started, so this doesn't have the intended positive ease that the designer was going for. I have made a list of all the modifications I made on my Ravelry project page if anyone's interested in the details. And overall, I really enjoyed making this cardigan. I hope you enjoyed watching along, and I will see you again soon. Bye!